Jung, possessed by an unspeakable evil spirit, he has the terrifying ability to eliminate anyone who dares to cross him. He's the mastermind behind the world's most powerful IT company, but beneath his success lies a world steeped in corruption. Fearless reporter Jinhee is on a high-stakes mission to bring Jung's illicit activities to light. She's been gathering damning evidence from Min, a former insider with dangerous secrets of his own. We see Min driving recklessly and intoxicated. Jinhee tries to calm him down, but he ignores her. He stops the car to share information about Forest subsidiaries, but suddenly freezes, unable to speak. On the other side, Chairman Jung holds Min's picture, exerting his control over him. Under Jung's influence, Min reverses the car and drives straight off a cliff, leading to his tragic death. Realizing Min is dead, Jinhee storms into her office and confronts Kim, blaming him for Min's demise. Kim defends himself, claiming it was Min's reckless behavior that caused the accident, but Jinhee continues to shout at him. In a fit of rage, Kim closes the windows and grabs Jinhee by the neck, warning her to stay out of his affairs. He then releases her and orders her to report that Min's death was due to speeding and alcohol. Still enraged, Jinhee recalls So-jin's words about the curse. She picks up a pen cap from Kim's desk and asks for the Chinese meaning of his name before leaving. Jinhee messages So-jin, requesting a meeting to curse Kim. This is So-jin, whose mother was killed by Jung 10 years ago. So-jin now seeks revenge for her mother. So-jin takes the pen cap and begins chanting while visualizing her intent. After a moment, she opens her eyes and informs Jinhee that the curse is complete, declining any payment. So-jin tells her name and departs. That night, Jinhee turns off her phone and goes to sleep. The next scene reveals Captain Jun and his team in Kim's office, where they discover his lifeless body. The gruesome details reveal that on his way home, Kim's body contorted unnaturally, breaking all his bones and ultimately snapping his spinal cord, leading to his demise. This horrific event was captured on camera. Meanwhile, Captain Jun attempts to reach Jinhee, but her phone is off, making him anxious. His assistant informs him that there was an argument between Jinhee and Kim earlier in the evening, as reported by the office staff. Reviewing the CCTV footage leaves Jun and his team puzzled, questioning why Kim would harm himself. Jun orders a post-mortem for Kim's body and begins his own investigation. We then see Jun's team, Detective Jung and 2 other detectives, debating who will interrogate Jinhee, since Captain Jun can't do it as her husband. Overhearing their conversation, Jun assigns one of the detectives to take on the task. Later, one of the detectives informs Lee, Forest's junior director, about Kim's murder case, noting that he could be implicated since he was the last person to speak with Kim. In response, Lee asks the detective to bring him photos of Kim's body. The scene shifts to Jinhee, who has just woken up. Shocked, she reads an article about Kim's murder and realizes, in her anger, she made a terrible mistake. Quickly turning on her phone, she calls Jun to talk before heading to the police station, where a detective begins to interrogate her. Jinhee explains the confrontation with Kim, admitting she had forgotten to charge her phone, which is why it was switched off that night. After the interrogation, she meets Detective Jung and requests a copy of the post-mortem report once it comes in. Meanwhile, Jun and Jung visit the morgue, where the doctor informs them that Kim's body was so contorted that conducting the post-mortem was difficult. However, the report reveals that Kim's brain generated a chemical called anandamide, similar to marijuana, which is produced naturally to alleviate pain. The doctor adds that he has never encountered a case where the brain produced this chemical on its own. The scene shifts to Lee, who now possesses a photo of Kim's corpse. He shows it to Chairman Jung, who becomes visibly tense upon seeing it. The chairman makes a phone call and arranges a meeting. It's revealed that he has summoned Kang, the same woman who helped orchestrate the murder of So-jin's mother. Later, we find Jun at home, where he discovers the cap of Kim's pen. He calls Jinhee to ask where she is, and she responds that she's out for something important. In reality, Jinhee is following So-jin and witnesses some schoolboys bullying her. Suddenly, So-jin grabs one boy's hand and curses him, causing his nose to bleed. The other boys, frightened, quickly take him away. Meanwhile, Kun meets with Chairman Jung and inquires whether he has recently used his powers. He confesses to using them on Min's photo, which resulted in Min's death. They present Kyung with the photo of Kim's body, and after examining it, she states that Kim was cursed, not by an ordinary spirit, but by a powerful one. She adds that such a spirit does not originate from Korea. It came from Japan. Kyung cannot confirm whether the spirit is also targeting the chairman. To learn more, a ritual must be performed to identify who conducted the procedure on Kim. On another front, So-jin reveals to Jinhee the story of her mother. So-jin's mother was a shaman who became possessed by a minor spirit after So-jin's father abandoned them. To survive, she relied on this spirit to perform rituals for others. However, Sojin explains that her mother didn't fully understand the rituals she performed, and that Sojin herself suffered from shaman sickness when she was 5. Despite being a weak shaman, her mother was able to perform procedure rituals. It's revealed that Sojin's mother was the one who performed the procedure on Chairman Jung. After the ritual, Jung's men killed Sojin's mother, but Sojin managed to escape that night. The woman accompanying Jung during the murder had thanked Sojin's mother for performing the ritual before having her killed. Sojin tells Jinhee that the ritual her mother performed allowed the evil spirit to enter Jung, and it was the same spirit that attacked her mother, leading to her death. Jinhee asks why Jung would kill Sojin's mother if he could continue using the procedure. Sojin admits she doesn't know why Jung isn't using the evil spirit and suspects he has other plans. In the next scene, we see Lee meeting with Kim's family. He claims to have been very close to Kim, offers them some money to help, and takes Kim's body to perform a ritual. During the ritual, Kyung determines how the procedure was carried out but cannot identify the person responsible, as their face remains unseen. She explains that this curse was not the work of an ordinary spirit. The episode concludes with a flashback to 10 years ago, where Jung is talking to his children. His mother questions him about his plans to divorce and leave his children with a witch. She expresses regret for not stopping him when he exploited the family graveyard for business purposes. This was the time Jung underwent a ritual on November 7th, performed by Sojin's mother. After the ritual, Chairman Jung begins to feel pain coursing through his body and notices an unpleasant smell surrounding him. A dark shadow is seen following his car before it enters him, indicating the evil spirit's influence is starting to take hold. As animals can sense spirits, a dog barks at Jung, but he dismissively throws it aside. By this point, the evil spirit has completely possessed him. Returning to the present, Kang informs Jung that Lee must have warned him not to touch or wear anything, and that it's only a matter of days before the situation escalates. Next, we see Jung and his wife, who expresses her concern that something might happen to him after Kim's death. She makes Jung promise to inform Captain Jun about her pregnancy and to leave his job for their safety. Meanwhile, Jun is speaking with his superior about Kim's death. Although his superior believes it was an accident, Jun insists it was a homicide involving drugs. His superior, however, instructs him to drop the case and focus on his application for a professorship. Jun informs Jung about his superior's decision to step back from the investigation. It's clear that Jung shares a close bond with Jun and feels compelled to support him. Jun states, "You're the only one with me now, and we need to pursue this case without telling the superior." Jun presents Jung with a cap from one of Kim's pens, claiming he found it somewhere significant. Jung attempts to dissuade him from getting further involved, warning that it might jeopardize his career, but he notices something unusual on Jun's leg and remains silent. So Jin messages Jinhee, urging her to expedite the ritual on Jung. Later, Jinhee is reassigned and made the acting department editor. Meanwhile, in Jung's office, Lee has cleared everything out as instructed by Kyung. He tells Jung to remove his clothes and leave them in the back room, promising to bring him new attire. Although Kyung advised Jung to avoid going outside, he feels compelled to be present for Forrest's upcoming IPO in a week, making it impossible for him to remain sequestered. Kyung speaks with her associate Bong, who suggests that the curse on Kim may have involved voodoo, a form of black magic. Kyung mentions that the entity came from Japan and instructs Bong to investigate that area. She also notes she has spoken to Kumamoto and believes she has seen something similar in Kokum and Nathi. Kyung tells Bong to look into spirits that have crossed from Japan into Korea. Next, Lee enters and requests Kyung to create a talisman for Jung, allowing him to continue working. Kyung agrees to consult global experts for the right talisman but warns that Jung must exercise caution in the meantime. Kang then inquires about the pen cap from Kim's pen, and Lee reveals he has someone in the police who will dig deeper into it. Kang is aware that the cap was involved in the ritual as she witnessed it during the ceremony.